A beautiful afternoon to you and welcome to TV Sapiencia News Hour. I am Oluchi Ojo Bamidele. The Enugu Electricity Distribution Company EEDC has warned its numerous customers in Anambra State to quit the practice of offering financial bribe to the officials on field work. It's noted that there are designated bank account numbers for any form of fee to be paid, be it reconnection, metering, or penalties. EEDC made this statement through Okechukwu Ideka, the Chief Technical Information Officer, Shared Services, at the ongoing Customer Complaint Resolution meeting convened by Nigerian Electricity Distribution Company NEC, which started on 4th of September till today, 6th September 2025. EEDC also noted that Anambra State has the highest number of overloaded transformers as a result of constant bypassing of meters by customers, while noting that the customer engagement is targeted towards conflict resolution. During the interactive session, customers complained over billing, estimated billing, corruption within the EEDC officials on fieldwork, and issues of non-compliance. The high point of the event was in the spot resolutions of customer challenges by EEDC officials at the venue. Speaking on conflict resolutions, Mrs. Obianuju Okafor, the manager at Customer Service EEDC, noted that whatever challenges will be resolved as much as they can on the spot. EEDC calls on customers with electricity issues to come from different parts of Anambra State for on-the-spot resolutions. The event, which is still ongoing at Hilton Leisure Hotel, Oka, will be coming to an end by 4 p.m. today. The federal government has intensified monitoring and screening procedures at all points of entry in response to the ongoing outbreak of the Ebola virus disease in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Director of Port Health Services at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Ban Nse, who disclosed this in an exclusive interview, noted that additional staff had been employed to strengthen broader surveillance in the country. Dr. Nse revealed that although Nigeria is at risk of importing the virus due to high levels of international travel with the DR Congo, Port Health Services is on alert and has strengthened surveillance to prevent this. Health authorities in the Democratic Republic of Congo declared an outbreak of Ebola virus disease in Kasai province, where 28 suspected cases and 16 deaths, including 4 health workers, had been reported as of September 5, 2025. The outbreak comes at a time when much of Central and West Africa is grappling with overlapping health and humanitarian crises, including cholera, malnutrition, and population displacement. In the ongoing outbreak, the samples tested on September 3 at the National Institute of Biomedical Research in the capital, Kinshasa, confirmed that the cause was Ebola Zir, a strain of the Ebola virus. He also said that the federal government has reactivated its portals so that passengers on every flight, seaports, and land borders coming to Nigeria from Congo is screened upon arrival. The European Union has threw its weight behind the reserved seats for women bill, joining rights advocates and political stakeholders in pressing for its swift passage. The bill seeks to create 37 additional seats in the Senate, 37 in the House of Representatives, and 3 reserved seats per state in all 36 state assemblies, strictly for female candidates. The bill currently slated for a third reading in October. The proposed legislation will then be transmitted to state houses of assembly before heading to the president for assent. Women's representation in Nigeria's legislature has remained abysmally low, with only 3.7% of Senate seats and 3.9% in House of Representatives currently occupied by women. Speaking at the 2025 National Leadership Conference in Abuja, head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Gotte Mignot, praised the bill and urged broad national support. Mignot also appealed to lawmakers to prioritize the legislation, stressing that it would help create exclusive elective spaces for women in governance and foster political balance particularly in parliament. He said one of the secrets for a nation that will be more successful is their development is to empower women and girls. The senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume, has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to initiate a special priority project in the northeast. Senator Ndume warned that the zone risks being left behind if its pressing infrastructure needs are not urgently addressed. His call followed Wednesday's visit by the 6 governors of the Northeast to the president at the presidential villa Abuja, led by the chairman of the Northeast Governors Forum and Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, to present a list of abandoned federal roads projects in the region. Ndume, reacting to this, urged President Tinubu to make special provisions for the region in the forthcoming 2025 supplementary budget, as well as the 2026 budget proposals. While commending the governors for their bold stance, he lamented that basic infrastructure across the 6 states of the Northeast had remained in a state of near collapse for over 15 years due to the Boko Haram insurgency and related security challenges. 3 doctors at the Benue General Hospital in Akwa Ibom State are under scrutiny following the death of a pregnant woman, Indiana Amos, and her baby allegedly caused by medical negligence. The House of Assembly Committee on Health directed the Ministry of Health and the State Hospitals Management Board to apply disciplinary action against the medical personnel following its investigation on the cause of the woman and her baby's death. Chairman of the committee, a member representing Ibom State constituency, Moses Essien, issued the directive during a meeting with the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Ekem John, and top officials of the ministry and hospital board at the assembly complex on Thursday. The deceased reportedly died alongside her baby last weekend following alleged medical negligence, according to a viral video posted online by her sister, which triggered widespread outrage across the state, prompting Governor Umo Eno to order a probe into the incident. Describing the incident as a preventable tragedy and blamed it on professional lapses by on-duty staff, ACN directed the Health Commissioner to take responsibility and make necessary recommendations to the governor. The Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia has offered financial relief and long-term assistance to the families of 76 security personnel who lost their lives combating insecurity in the state within 2024 and 2025. Each bereaved family received 5 million naira from a total package of 380 million naira, alongside promises of scholarships for children and business support for widows. Presenting the checks in Makurdi, the state capital, Governor Alia described the gesture as a mark of gratitude for the fallen heroes. Supreme sacrifice, assuring that their children will continue their education through scholarships and their families to remain on the state's protocol list. The governor further assured the families that government support will go beyond money, pledging to create sustainable opportunities for widows of the deceased and to periodically visit affected households. The federal government says it is exploring new fiscal policy options aimed to mobilizing resources to improve health financing in the country, emphasizing that investment in human capital remains the most valuable asset for national development. Chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, made this statement during the National Health Financing Policy Dialogue held in Abuja. According to him, the statutory contributions such as mandatory health insurance schemes and the National Health Insurance Authority will be strengthened to expand coverage, while earmarked taxes on seen goods and carbon emissions can provide dedicated funding for health. Oyedele also recommended tax-deductible donations to encourage philanthropy in the health sector, alongside tariff waivers and zero-rated taxes on health services, equipment, and materials to reduce costs for providers and patients. He said the government is also exploring impact investing and public-private partnership with concessionary tax rates and a sustainable model to complement public funding. A former Sokoto State Governor, Tambuwal, said he is determined to work for the defeat of President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general elections. Tambuwal, a member of the opposition coalition, described the plan to oust Tinubu's government as a national consensus. He insisted that there should be a change of guards in Aso Rock through a constitutional democratic process on May 29, 2027. The former governor accused the government of failing Nigerians in delivering the dividends of democracy to the citizens, downplaying the perceived power of incumbency by the Tinubu government. Still on the news, the Borno State Governor, Zulum, has approved stipends of 250,000 naira for fathers and 50,000 naira for mothers of 90 students in Gajigana town. He announced this on Friday during the inauguration of the Higher Islamic College, Gajigana, also approving free daily meals for all enrolled students. The governor said the support and meals are designed to boost school enrollment in northern Borno, devastated by over a decade of insurgency. He noted that Gajigana, with a population of 50,000 people, had only 90 secondary school students, describing the figure as alarming and demanding urgent attention. The governor maintained that their success would represent significant progress for education in northern Borno, stressing that the state aims to provide Sangaya learners with essential knowledge and skills to thrive in today's competitive world. Zulum further directed that daily meals be provided in higher Islamic colleges and schools with poor enrollment across the state. The United Nations human rights investigators have warned that the Sudanese civilians are paying the highest price as the nearly 30-month-long conflict in Sudan between rival militaries grinds on. It's noted that looting, burning, and shelling continue to destroy livelihoods and hope in the country. Human rights violations by the military government and Rapid Support Forces militia are documented in the latest report to the United Nations Human Rights Council by the Independent International Fact-Finding Mission. The report, A War of Atrocities, according to Mohamed Chand Othman, chairman of the FFM, found that both the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces directed large-scale attacks against civilians and vital infrastructure, including medical centers, constituting serious violations and international law. The forces intentionally directed attacks against non-Arab communities in the besieged Darfuri city of El Fasher and the surrounding region, increasing the toll on what the UN Refugee Agency calls the world's fastest-growing displacement crisis. The report called on the international community to enforce an arms embargo back the International Criminal Court and stop cooperating with any combatants or civilians suspected of war crimes, among other recommendations. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has reshuffled his ministerial team in a bid to reset his embattled government after Deputy Premier Angela Rayner resigned for underpaying a property tax. Rayner, a figurehead among Labour's left-wing base, quit after an investigation found she had breached the ministerial code over the purchase of a flat in the southern England. Her departure prompted Starmer to carry out the first major cabinet reshuffle of his torturing 40-month-old premiership, during which the hard-right Reform UK party has overtaken Labour in popularity. Starmer replaced Rayner as deputy with Foreign Minister David Lammy, whose post as Britain's top diplomat will now be taken by Interior Minister Vert Cooper, Downing Street announced. Justice Secretary Shabana Mahmood from Labour's right wing will succeed Cooper at the Home Office, while Lammy will also take on the justice brief. Now on sports, Paraguay celebrates a national holiday Friday after a draw against Ecuador saw the South American nation qualify for its first Football World Cup in 16 years. President Santiago Pena decreed the holiday late Thursday as thousands of Abiroja fans took to the streets to celebrate a 0-0 draw with Ecuador, which secured Paraguay the last automatic South American qualifying spot. Pena, in his announcement, said Friday will be dedicated to paying homage to the epic campaign that has inspired the entire nation, even as some detractors said a national holiday was over the top. Paraguay last took part in the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, where they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by eventual winners, Spain. Their participation in the 2026 edition will mark Paraguay's 9th World Cup campaign. Still on sports, Inter Miami star Luis Suarez has been handed a 6-match suspension for his actions following last weekend's Tommy Leagues Cup final defeat to the Seattle Sounders, tournament disciplinary chiefs said on Friday. The 38-year-old former Uruguay, Liverpool and Barcelona star was sanctioned for spitting at a Sounders official following Miami's 3-0 loss. A statement from the Leagues Cup disciplinary committee says Suarez's suspension would only apply to next year's edition of the tournament, although Major League Soccer reserves the right to impose additional punishment. Suarez's Inter Miami teammate Sergio Busquets has also been given a 2-match ban. Another Inter player, Samus Avio, has been barred from 3 games. Immediately after the final whistle, Suarez rushed at 20-year-old Sounders midfielder Obed Vargas and put him in a headlock, sparking multiple players and staff from both sides. Officials scrambled to restore order, but cameras later caught Suarez spitting at a Seattle security staff member as he walked away from Vargas. Suarez, who has previously been hit with suspensions for biting and racially abusing opponents in separate incidents earlier in his career, issued an apology for his behavior in a statement. To end the news, here are the major news headlines. The federal government says it has intensified monitoring and screening procedures at all points of entry in response to the ongoing outbreak of the Ebola virus disease in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has reshuffled his ministerial team in a bid to reset his government after Deputy Premier Angela Rayner resigned for underpaying a property tax. Paraguay celebrates a national holiday yesterday after a draw against Ecuador saw the South American nation qualify for its first football World Cup in 16 years. And that was the TV Sapienza News. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojobamidele. Good afternoon and have a beautiful weekend.